Hello, my friends. Welcome to our week ahead reading. This is our week ahead reading for the week of July 13th. And I want to start this week's reading by inviting you before I haven't even pulled cards or runes or anything yet, which I usually do before I start, because I want to invite you to start this week with me with a grounding, connecting to yourself little meditation. So, invitation to you is just to close your eyes. To breathe into your body, placing your hands on your body, feeling your breath fill, feeling your ribs, seeing if you can allow your breath to fill your pelvis, your hips. Inviting your breath to fill every part of you. Putting your feet on the ground, pressing all four corners of your feet into the earth, the ground beneath you. The earth or the floor, right? You may not be outside, but just pressing your feet into the surface beneath you. Deep breath in, long breath out, sigh it out, make some noise like I just did if you need to. Inviting all of you to be here. Calling your energy back from any place or time you may have left it. And inviting all of you to be here now. Okay. From this place, asking for this space to be opened for our week ahead reading for this community, this collective, for anyone who's here watching this, who's called to be here, setting the intention for this reading to be for you, for every person who's called to be here. Thank you, thank you. Calling in loving spirits, loving ancestors, loving guides to bring forward any messages that want to come through for this week of July 13th, 2026. Calling in the Akashic field, the soul field for this collective, for this reading. If there are any messages that want to come forward, we're open to receive. Thank you, thank you. Just asking to tap into the energy of this week ahead. How can we best meet it? How can we best work with it, move with it, and show up fully in this week, for this week? That's how it is. Thank you, allowing the space to open and our reading to start. You're going to hear that this week is it. This is the week that the big alignments in July start and really snap into place. Don't put so much pressure on this week to be it. Let this week unfold and show you what it wants to show you without it needing to be anything. Without it needing to be anything besides just a week. A week that holds the potential for insights, the potential for change, but also is just a week. Letting yourself carry that remembrance as you move into this week. Asking now for the runes, for this collective. Any runes to help us navigate and understand and show up for and meet the energy of the week ahead. Thank you. Okay, that might be a total no from the runes. They did not. They were all upside down. Is there a single rune for the week ahead for this collective? This came out last week, I think. Jera, Harvest. Yeah. Yeah, I think we had Jera last week. Bear with me. No, it wasn't last week. It was within the last couple weeks, though. Let's see. I'm looking back at my... Okay. No, it's not as recently as I thought it was going to be that we were going to have Jera. All right. Never mind. Jera was not last week. Interesting. But Jera is our rune this week. Jera is rune of harvest. This is a rune that's saying we are walking into a season where you might start to notice that you're reaping the rewards of the work that you have done, right? The seeds that you have planted and tended and watched grow and weeded and been with, and now they are starting to produce fruit, produce something that you can actually like gather, that you can harvest and gather, and there's the abundance. There's Jera. So this is a week where we start to see the harvest coming in. And it's interesting because we are still, we're not quite at harvest time actually in the seasons of the year, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. So we're a little early in terms of the year's like harvest. And I think that's interesting because to me, what this is actually, like, this is an intuitive read of this. I think this is saying to us that I'm reading this as, or hearing this as, we are coming into harvest, but it's a slow build. It's a slow build to harvest. We're not quite there. We're not there. We're not harvesting everything yet. This week, we're going to start to see how the harvest is coming. Maybe we start harvesting pieces, but I don't intuitively feel like this week is a week where we're like, oh my God, I just harvested everything. It's more like the start of harvest, and maybe harvest gets deeper as we actually get more into harvest season in like a month or two, perhaps. We'll have to see what comes forward as we move into the weeks ahead. But for this week, we're starting harvest. Harvest is starting, and I think that's really beautiful. And I bring that forward as like, it's starting. It's not totally here yet because there's still a lot more energy to move through, right? After so this week we have on the 14th, on Tuesday, we have a new moon in Cancer. And this moon so we have this moon in Cancer, and then at the end of the month we have a moon in I think it's in Leo, and after that we move into eclipse season, and we have our eclipses in August this year. So August, I think it's 12th, and August like 27th or 28th we have eclipses, and so we are still, like, we still have a lot of energy, a lot of big energy, a lot of big movement coming this summer, which is why we're not at full harvest yet. We're just starting the harvest, right? The harvest is just beginning. So if this week, don't take this as like, oh my God, this week is going to be a week where I really start harvesting so much. That's not the intention. That's not the message. Take it as this week being a week that maybe starts to show you what is ready to be harvested or what is going to be harvested. Maybe you're still tending to the things that are harvesting, or you will be harvesting in the future, and you're starting to maybe harvest the early vegetables, right? The early fruits, the early something. And so then our animal medicine this week is whale. And I think that's a bit funny too, just thinking symbolism wise, because harvest is a very earth, like, the first thing that harvest connects to is literally like tending fields, right? And harvesting the veggies or the fruit or the things that, that have been growing. So it's very earth-based, very, very with the land. And then We have whale, very water-based, right? Whale is record keeper. Whale is like a swimming library. Whale carries the history of Mother Earth. Is said to have been placed here by the ancients from the dog star Sirius. So we have this connection to water and to the stars. So whale is a record keeper. Whale has been around, been on this earth living for so long, has seen the evolution of life on this earth. Whale as a medicine is a medicine of sound frequencies that bring up records and the memories of ancient knowledge. Whale can bring in clairaudience, or just the ability to be very, very connected to different frequencies and hear different frequencies. Whale also can bring in psychic abilities if you spend time with whale, develop these abilities. And whale medicine also can help us connect into the universal mind of the Great Spirit. So we're really talking here, like whale medicine is very, very much connected to the idea, the Akashic records, right? The soul records. That's what this is talking about. Whale is a record keeper connecting us to the records of the soul, the records of energy, the records of all that has been before us, and even the records of what will come after us, with the idea that time is this spiral. It's not this straight linear line. The records are already written as they're also being written at the same time. This is that's a bit esoteric, but it's a beautiful energy to remember and to stay tapped into. Whale medicine teaches us to use the sounds and frequencies that balance our emotional bodies and heal our physical forms. So for example, drum beats. In any kind of shamanic journey, trance work, we always use drums. And the reason for that is because drums remind us of the heartbeat of being in the womb, hearing the heartbeat of our mother when we were in the womb. And so it also it connects us back into that space where we're nice and safe. And it's like the first deep ingrained memory of sound in our bodies. So it's the universal heartbeat. So whale is asking us to tap into the soul records, and to allow ourselves to be sung to by those who have the original language. So this could be that this week you find some drum beat tracks and you listen to them. If you're in any of my or some of my online courses, for those of you who are in some of those, there are drum beats that I have created that are in some of those courses, so you have access to those too. But also there's a lot of different drum beats that are on YouTube and such, if you don't have a drum to drum with. So listen to the drum beats, listen to frequencies this week, listen to binaural beats, like something that brings you into the frequency of sound, right? Allow your voice this week to use sound to release tension or emotion. Whale signals a time of finding your origins, of seeing your overall destiny is coded in your DNA, and of finding the sounds that will release your soul records. You may never be the same again. After all, you are the melody of the universe, and the harmony is the song of the other creatures. And using your voice to open your memory, so singing, right? Singing or toning or just making sound. Use your voice this week. You're expressing your uniqueness and personal sound. So this is a week to use your voice, to use sound, to see what wants to come forward from you. This could literally be like saying that this is a week to speak more, to use your voice to share messages, but it's also a week to use your voice and to use sound in your meditative practices and your energy practices, to bring you back to yourself, to bring you back into your soul knowing. Meditate with it, sit with the music, meditate with your voice. Maybe you do a meditation where you're singing, right? And that's not going to be the same kind of meditation as when you're like totally still and silent, but singing, like maybe you allow yourself to sing and just kind of get pulled into the current of the singing of the song and see what flows, right? See what comes from that. So this is essentially a week to really allow sound to move you. And so sound and harvest, right? Sound to move you, sound to help open up whatever cellular memory wants to be opened for you, and notice what wants to be harvested this week, or what is showing you, oh yes, this is ready to be harvested, or this is going to be harvested soon, and keep tending to it. And yeah, with a new moon as well, it can be a time to plant new seeds. That's kind of the broad meaning of a new moon. What are we planting at this dark moon to then be illuminated in the next full moon, and just to keep on like being nurtured and growing with the moons, with the next few moon cycles. So with a new moon, and in Cancer too, Cancer is like family and closeness, like the people who are close to our hearts. And we have Mercury in retrograde in Cancer right now too, so we have all of this like old like family connection, intimate kind of relationship, perhaps for many of us, memories and things coming up from the past to be seen, to be worked with, to be acknowledged, or to be worked back through, so we can let it go, so we can really come into a new a clean slate, as it were, in the Cancer house of our chart. And so with that, like what new intentions perhaps do you want to also seed in your Cancer house, in your chart? So working with your astrology chart as well could be very interesting to work with this week. And yeah, sound frequencies. And I don't mean like, I want to be really clear here. Like, I definitely don't mean working with sound that's like pop music, or like music that has like a lot of lyrics and things. That's not the kind of sound we're talking about here. We are specifically talking about sound that has connection to these frequencies of soul, of earth, of the deeper like energetic aspects of ourselves. So there's a time and place for other kinds of music, but that's not really the sound frequency that Whale is talking about. We're talking about the sounds, the music that like moves you from a deep space, because the frequencies of that sound are going so deep into your cells. I want to suggest there's one artist that does the most amazing sound journeys, and his name is Larimar Sound Alchemy. If you look that up, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you use his music's there. If you really want to put on music to lie with and to listen to and to let your journey through you, I cannot recommend his sound journeys more. They're so good. But if you have something else that you also prefer to sit with, beautiful. Whatever it is you choose, take some time this week to sit and journey and meditate with sound and see what it brings up within you, and even what the sound shows you want to harvest within. The harvest could be internal too. It might not be external, or it could be internal and external. So yeah, that's our reading. That's our week ahead. Allowing that to thank you to all the energy, to the living guides for this group, for this collective coming forward to support bringing this reading forward, and just allowing the space to close. That reading is complete. That's the message we need this week. Thank you, as always, for joining me. And I will have my intuitive readings, the recorded ones you can sign up for, open this week. Again, if you want to just have a little check-in, so you can sign up for those on my website. I'll have it linked below. And yeah. I hope you have a good week. Please, if you want to share anything in the comments about how this week is for you, I'd love to hear. As always, feel free to share there. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you next week.